Along here, there are buses that come from the hotel to drop you off. This is a constant thing that is going on in the city. Now, as we come down here, we're coming down towards Canal Street. And one of the reasons we're taking this bus is that this is kind of a long walk just to get to Canal Street from here, okay? So we want you fresh for the rest of our walking. Now, once we get to Canal Street, we will be in the French Quarter. Right now, we are outside the French Quarter. And in 1803, when we became part of the United States, the people coming into the city settled going this way, whereas the local people started moving in the other direction. Now, this is, you'll get this in part of our walking tour, but they were not at all happy about the new Americans who were showing up. They considered them heathens because they weren't Catholic like the original colonies. They thought they were crude and rude because the only ones they were familiar with were the people who came down the river on flatboats. So they wanted nothing to do with them. And oh my God, they spoke that awful language, English. So they wanted, so the Americans settled here. The French, Spanish moved down river. You do know in New Orleans, we tell direction from the river. Local people do not know north, south, east, or west. I can tell you I'm local, up the river, down the river. I can tell you riverside, and I can tell you lakeside. I have a clue north, south, east, and west, and that's because the river makes all these turns and bends. So we follow the course of the river. So we say Americans upriver, the Creoles moving downriver, okay? And once we get over here and we cross Canal Street, take a look at Canal Street. It's got a big, wide medium in the middle of it. Have you noticed that? Have any of you seen that so far? Well, the people on this side would meet the people on that side in the middle of that big medium to conduct business. That's how big the hostility was between them, all right? Because of that, we call it the neutral ground. That's your first good New Orleans word, the neutral ground. And we call all mediums in the city neutral ground because of that. So if you hear somebody saying, I'm going to meet you on the neutral ground, what they're talking about is the medium in the middle of the street. So that'll give you a little clue. If you look over here, this is up on the river, all along here. And when you see when we get down, and Charlie and I will probably show you, going up the levee system. This is all around over here. As you come down, you'll see the levee system. This is Harris Casino on your right-hand side. If you don't know what to do with your money, there you go, okay? But on this side, we're going to be following down along the river. And if you notice along here, this is leading up to the river walk, the hotel, all along that way. So if you want to walk all the way back, I suggest you walk all along the river. It's a good walking path, and it'll come all the way back around to the convention center. So if you don't want, yes. The river walk is back this way, yes. But it's closed right now. They're redoing the whole thing. So that's why you can't get into it from the convention center. But I'm going to show you lots of shopping down here. You're better shopping. It's fun shopping, yes. The World Trade Center. It is closed. It's a huge controversy about what to do with it. Well, some of us think it's pretty. It used to have all kinds of offices and so on in it. And city, state politics. Right now they're fighting over what to do with it. Hopefully they're going to make it a hotel and apartments and condominiums. some people want to tear it down. I don't know, but it was our World Trade Center, and on that top, very exciting top up there, that had a restaurant bar that revolved around, and you could see all over the city. And I kind of miss that too. Shopping center over here on your left-hand, your right-hand side is got some upscale shopping if you want to shop. Saks Avenue. Oh, you went there yesterday. You didn't buy anything? Oh, okay. Not at Saks. Anyhow, they have a lot of pretty good shopping there. So here you are. We've come up to Canal Street. We're going to cross over in just a minute. And you can see the change immediately because we will be in the original city, French Quarter. And this is where we will be walking around and then walking over towards the cemetery. Okay, so that'll be helpful for you. Now, if you look straight ahead, this is the Canal Street I was talking about, and this also has on here the streetcars. You can catch the Canal Street streetcar. It would take you out to City Park. You can also get further down the St. Charles Avenue streetcar. By the way, a little known fact, all the streets coming out of the French Quarter, once they cross Canal, the Americans changed their names. So if you're looking at your maps and you're going, whoa, I was on Royal Street, what happened? It becomes St. Charles Avenue. So you're not crazy, we are, okay? So just watch that if you're staying on hotels in this side and you want to cross back over to that side. Now, you are on the first street in the French Quarter. This is Decatur Street. Over on your right-hand side in the corner there, that's the aquarium, all right? So if you want to see the aquarium, there's a little pathway that goes up to it with some imaginary little figures on it, little aquatic style. So you'll be right up on the levee to do that, okay? So, levee along here, you'll see there's a wall. That's a levee wall. If you wanted to go in, and as we go down, take a look. There's like a gate that will open and close in case we want to shut it off. Can you see the opening spot over there on the right? There's a gate there. It will close it off. We think the river's going to overflow. By the way, I'm sure you're going to ask about Katrina. The French Quarter did not flood. The flooding came from the lake. We had water in the street. We'll tell you about that because our pumping system works by electricity, which we lost. But the flooding that covered 80% of the city did not occur in the French Quarter. We call this the sliver by the river, all the way uptown. So now we're in the heart of the French Quarter. When we let you off, I'm going to let Charlie go first, and he's going to take the people on this side of the bus, okay? On the door side of the bus. When they're off, I will take the rest of you with me on the driver's side, okay? So let them go first, and we will meet up again after our cemetery visit, okay? With the bus, look for Charlene and for us, okay? Was that helpful? Okay. Now, this is a very large group, and I don't know all your faces yet. So I have on my sparkling hat. I hope you stay with me. But as I told that other lady, if you want to drift off, you can. There's nothing here that says that you have to be with me. But I don't want you to get lost, and I want you to hear what I have to tell you, okay? So you look for me, all right? Try to stick together. So if you follow me, we're going to go here and go up there.
This is where it's okay to look like a tourist.
No, you know, we came to this.
Café du Monde.
I like to start up there because this gives you an idea of why New Orleans was built here in the very first place. Now, if you can think back in your history, when the New World was discovered, everybody in Europe wanted a piece of the action. And they were sending all kinds of soldiers and explorers over here to lay claim to this new world. Every time they came to a river, they'd stick their flag in the river and they'd say, I claim all things drained by this river to be ours. Well, even the dumbest explorer knew if you didn't have a physical presence by your flag, the next guy would come and throw your flag away and stick his own in. So the French had done a lot of exploring on this area. They were already up in Canada. The English were on the eastern seaboard. The Spanish were in South and Central America. The race was on. The French thought, since they knew the source of the Mississippi River, if they could get to the mouth of the river and build a fort, they could control all the land in between. Now, they didn't know exactly how much that was, but they knew it was going to be a lot of land. So, they sent two young French explorers, brothers by the name of Iberville and Bienville. Sent them here and tried to, down the English seaboard, down into the Gulf of Mexico to find the mouth of the river. Well, they couldn't actually find the mouth of the river because, as we know today, the mouth of the river isn't one entry, it's a big, wide delta. So every time they tried to go up something, it petered out, it was not convenient. Very frustrated, they went along the Gulf Coast, they settled the town of Biloxi and Mobile. It's older than New Orleans. I don't know if you know that. Now, from there, they started exploring out. Bienville was very good at making friends with the Indians and learning some of their languages. And so from them, he learned a back way to get here. What they did was come from our lake regions, have you heard, Lake Pontchartrain, all of that, came through there down a very long bayou, which he named Bayou St. John, after his patron saint, and lo and behold, he comes out here. Now, I hope you see what he saw, but he gets here, he sees the river makes a big bend here, and you can't really see it too well from here, but it makes another big bend there. Right off the bat, he says, I can defend this